last 18 months for Oslo Police. This was where he had started his career, and now he had come back, because of the Truvan incident. 7 calls from Oslo Police headquarters at Grönland. 2 from his ex-wife, 1 from his daughter, 2 from the care home, plus countless text messages. Holger Munch decided to ignore the world for a little longer and turned on the radio. He found NRK Klassisk, opened the window and lit a cigarette. Cigarettes were his only vice, apart from food, obviously, but they were in a different league in terms of attraction. Holger Munch had no intention of ever quitting smoking, no matter how many laws the politicians came up with and how many smoking prohibited signs they put up all over Norway, including on the dashboard of his rental car. He could not think without a cigarette, and there was nothing Holger Munch loved more than thinking, using his brain. Never mind about the body, as long as his brain worked. They were playing Handel's Messiah on the radio. Not Munch's favourite, but he was okay with it. He was more of a Bach man himself. He liked the mathematics of the music, not all those emotional composers, Wagner's bellicose Aryan tempo, Ravel's impressionistic emotional landscape. Munch listened to classical music precisely to escape these human feelings. If people were mathematical equations, life would be much simpler. He quickly touched his wedding ring and thought about Mariana, his ex-wife. It had been 10 years now, and still he could not make himself take it off. She had wrung him. Perhaps she was... No. It would be about the wedding, obviously. She wanted to talk about the wedding. They had a daughter together, Miriam, who was getting married shortly. There were practicalities to discuss, that was all. Holger Munch flicked the cigarette out of the window and lit another one. I don't drink coffee, I don't touch alcohol. Surely I'm allowed a sodding cigarette. Holger Munch had been drunk only once, at the age of 14, on his father's cherry brandy at their holiday cottage in Larvik, and he had never touched a drop of alcohol since. The desire was just not there. He didn't fancy it. It would never cross his mind to do anything which might impair his brain cells, not in a million years. Now, smoking, on the other hand, and the occasional burger, that was something else again. He pulled over at a Shell petrol station by Stav Yestergård and ordered a bacon burger meal deal, which he ate sitting on a bench overlooking Trondheim Fjord. If his colleagues had been asked to describe Holger Munch in 2 words, one of them was likely to be nerd. Clever would possibly be the second, or too clever for his own good, but a nerd definitely. A fat, amiable nerd who never touched alcohol, loved mathematics, classical music, crossword puzzles, and chess. A little dull, perhaps, but an extremely talented investigator, and a fair boss. So what if he never joined his colleagues for a beer after work, or that he had not been on a date since his wife left him for a teacher from Hurum who had 8 weeks annual holiday and never had to get up in the middle of the night without telling her where he was going? There was no one whose clear-up rate was as high as Holger Munch's. Everyone knew that. Everyone liked Holger Munch, and even so, he had ended up back in Hønefoss. I'm not demoting you, I'm reassigning you. The way I see it, you should count yourself lucky that you still have a job. He had almost quit on the spot that day outside Mikkelson's office in Grönland, but he had bit his tongue. What else would he do? Work as a security guard? Holger Munch got back in the car and followed the E6 towards Trondheim. He lit a fresh cigarette and followed the ring road around the city, heading south. The rental car was equipped with a sat-nav, but he did not turn it on. He knew where he was going. Mia Krüger. He thought warmly about his former colleague, just as his mobile rang again. Munch speaking? Where the hell are you? It was an agitated Mikkelsen on the verge of a heart attack as usual. How that man had survived 10 years in the boss's chair down at Grönland was a mystery to most people. I'm in the car. Where the hell are you? Munch snapped back. In the car where? Haven't you got there yet? No,